arrested.
So right now you're being issued with
Are you going to talk over me? All right, talk over me. So the only time I have to give my name is if I'm being arrested in Texas, 3802, statutes 3802. And because a criminal trespass, because I didn't step on their property criminally, I can't be issued a criminal trespass.
You can't be issued a criminal trespass.
No, because I didn't step on their property. All that and more is coming up right now. This is Beverly Hills, Texas, and this is the Specs Liquor Store on Beverly Hills, Texas. And despite what the manager says, and despite what the lieutenant says, I was only filming from their easement. Before I began filming, I was sitting on the bench from the public transit system, but I was not filming. I was speaking on the phone to David Murphy. So, because Specs Liquor allows the bench to be on their property from the public transit system, that means that it's public. So I'm allowed to sit on that bench without being in any sort of trouble or being trespassed because they allow the bench to be on their property. There's the bench right there. And here's what happened next. Super busy place. We're at 1 minute and 52 seconds. Got company already. How's it going? No, I'm good. I'm just doing my job.
Okay, cool.
It must be cold in there. You got a jacket on.
Yeah, my only request though, if you're going to be recording the outside of the building, is if you maintain on public property, right? So right now you're in line with our...
I'm on public property.
Say what?
I'm on public property.
Oh, okay.
So when do you guys close?
We close at 9.
So do you make bank deposits in the morning or at night? Do you make bank deposits in the morning or at night?
Oh, I'm not going to share the information on our bank deposits.
Well, I'm supposed to ask that. And do you have like a safe in there?
I'm not going to answer that.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
Now that you're asking those questions, who do you work for?
Oh, I work for. I'm just doing a job that I'm supposed to do for somebody. Somebody's paying me to do this, so I just have to see how many people are going in. When's the time when you don't have a lot of people in there? That kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, I know that there's that light pole right there that you say, but I also have this pole, which I know is on Specs property because we own that pole as well.
Okay. Well, actually, the easement comes from the center of the street.
Yeah.
And you're right on the line, so I'm about right. So.
Okay.
You know.
Well,
so you're gonna argue over 2 or 3 feet? That's pretty. Come on.
Well, I'm not arguing. I'm just putting my point of view out there as well.
Well, my point of view is don't be a crybaby over 2 or 3 feet.
Oh, okay.
That's my point of view.
Okay.
So go inside and cry.
I'll appreciate it.
It took 4 minutes for him to come out here. Oh, Beverly Hills Police. Already. 12 minutes and 12 seconds. "12 minutes, 34 seconds. There is being a crybaby. Be a crybaby. Here he is, blocking the roadway with his ghost car. "13 minutes and 36 seconds.
Evening, ma'am. My name is Lieutenant Steiner. I'm with the Beverly Hills Police Department.
A lieutenant, huh?
Yes, ma'am. So do you have an ID or anything with you?
No.
No? Okay. So I'm going to need to get your name and date of birth. So this is what's going to happen. So I talked with them. I guess they were alarmed by some questions that you asked them or whatnot, but they do want to have you criminally trespass from their property. Right now where you're at is considered the easement for the city or whatnot, so I could care less if you stay out here and record. They've said the same thing, but any point in time, if you cross back onto their property, the parking lot, basically the furthest point from where this sign is at, back that way, belongs to them.
Yeah.
So, but if you step back on the property, then we could have other issues for violating the criminal trespass. But I do have to issue that criminal trespass, so I'm going to need your name and date of birth.
So, are you familiar with Statute 3802?
I'm not going to get into the statute.
3802 says that the only way you can get my name is if I'm legally arrested.
Okay.
So I'm not being legally arrested.
So right now you're being issued with
are you going to talk over me? All right, talk over me.
So
the only time I have to give my name is if I'm being arrested in Texas. 3802. Statute's 3802. And because a criminal trespass, because I didn't step on their property criminally, I can't be issued a criminal trespass.
You can be issued a criminal
No,
trespass.
because I didn't step on their property.
From what the gentleman said, you were over there on the property.
So he said you can't be on this property. I said I'm not on the property. I'm on the easement. So if I step onto the property, then yeah, you can criminally trespass me. But right now, you can't get my name.
You were already on the property.
And they asked me to leave. He said I'm on the property and you need to leave. I stepped back 1 foot. Now I'm not on the property. I did what they said. Get off their property. It's the property he thought was his, but it's not because I'm standing right now on utility. This is a utility, so that belongs to you.
We've already discussed that.
So you said where I am, all right, and I was aligned with this the whole time. See the blue thing right there? That blue thing? So
when you crossed, you were on their parking lot.
And he came out
when I pulled in.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
When I pulled in, you were at the sign. You walked across the parking lot.
That's not true.
That is true.
I have it on video.
Okay, I'm not worried about it.
I have it on video. But if you're not worried about it, then you're not worried about it. I do not.
I need to issue the criminal trespass.
Okay, the only way you can do that is if you arrest me.
I don't have to arrest you.
Yes.
So, okay.
The only way I can
give me your name,
this
is what I'm going to explain to you.
Okay.
You're criminally trespassed from the property.
Okay.
Okay? If they have video or anything of you on the property, you will be arrested. Do you understand?
If they have video, but after they told me to leave.
Right now, you were being told you were no longer allowed to come back on the property.
Yes, I'm being told. So if they have any video of me doing that.
If you come back on the property.
If I come back on the property, then you can criminally trespass me.
You will be arrested, not criminally trespassed.
Okay.
You've already been criminally
trespassed. Okay, so if I
trespassed.
walk past this line, I'll be arrested. Okay, then you can get my name.
Okay. You understand that, correct?
Yep, so I won't step past this line.
Okay.
Have a nice day. And he's going to leave first. There you go, guys. He's gonna leave first.
Hello again. Hi. So just to introduce myself again, my name is Michael. I'm the general manager here. I know we had a conversation right over there.
Yep, you told me that I was on your property and I stepped back 2 feet. Sure did.
So really it was just the contest of whether or not this portion is going to be on public easement or where that might be.
Do you see the blue thing? You see all those?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. But
So I'm not
really
going to get on
didn't
your
cause me
property.
concern.
I'm not going to get on your property. If the 2 feet bothers you that bad, so be it. But I'm not stepping on your property.
What did cause concern is some of the questions that you had followed up with.
So my boss told me to ask those questions, so I did.
Yeah, I don't know your boss
Okay.
or whatever intent or whatever you have, but asking security questions like that, if you can kind of see how that might cause some alarm.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, I would like to criminally trespass you from the area.
If I step back on the property, then you can do that.
Okay. Well, so here's,
Right, exactly.
here's what I'm going to explain to you in front of him, so the manager knows, because I've already explained it. Anything that's on the concrete of theirs, it's their property. This is the criminal trespass. He's already explained to you he doesn't want you back on the property.
Yep.
I'm explaining to you you are not allowed back on the property.
Okay, that's great.
It is a verbal criminal trespass. No, I can't identify you right now, but if he has video of you on this property, if I see you, you will be arrested. You understand?
That was before.
Well, I'm explaining to you
Okay.
now.
Yeah, that's right. That from this moment on.
So from this moment on,
If you see
do
me
not
on the
step
property,
step
then you
onto
can
their
you can
property.
you can arrest me.
understand?
And there's a couple things I want to note too. I did have some conversation with the city of Waco when I moved here in 2019.
Is
about
this the
public
city of Waco?
easements. This is the city of Beverly Hills. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure a lot
City
of
of
those-
Beverly Hills.
City of Beverly Hills. So I know you're standing on the water meter that is owned by the city.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so especially like also on my property, the water meter is owned by the city, but still an easement that I'm responsible for as a resident. So
And I'm
while it-
also able to stand on it as a public forum. So here I am.
So here's the thing. I could be responsible for that as well because it could be on the property.
And you're supposed to allow me to have my public forum, and that's what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So if you're worried about the 2 feet, don't worry. I'm not going to step 2 feet to where you are.
Okay.
So go back inside, do your job, and just forget me about me being out here.
Unfortunately,
So what he's
what's-
getting at is
yeah.
like if the water meter's damaged, just step off the water meter, and at that point we can.
What I'm
care
also getting at is just because the water meter's here doesn't mean it's.
So you're
also
still being a
part of the
crybaby.
easement.
Okay.
I'd love to have a conversation with you, like a
Yeah.
civil one.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
back and forth.
But you're too busy
questions and
crying.
answers.
You're too busy being a crybaby.
But there's a
So
lot of interjection going on, and the point of that is, like I said, just because you're on the meter doesn't mean it's part of the public easement. Right?
okay. But that line
So
is
you know
right
what?
there.
I'm gonna find out exactly.
Now they're going to try to find out where the public easement is. Okay, here's where I'm standing, guys. Right here. So I'm not detained. I can start walking this way. Beverly Hills Police expects general manager. They think that this driveway is their property, and it's not. Look how close I am to the road. "23 minutes and 9 seconds. Nathan, look. How are you?
Taking pictures?
Yeah.
Facebook?
Or YouTube. So, I'm arguing what the easement. I'm arguing what the easement is right now.
Okay.
I'm allowed to stand on the easement for a public forum. You watch the videos, you know.
Yeah.
You watch
So
that.
what do they do?
He's trying to get my name, and he can't get my name because the only way they can get my name is if they're arresting me. Statute 3802. So he's trying to get my name for a criminal trespass, but that's not an arrest.
What do you feel like? What do you shoot it for? Just to shoot?
Just to stress test the First Amendment to see if they violate my rights.
To see if they're going to test it.
Yeah, you know, to see if they're going to escalate it.
See if they're going to escalate it.
Here they come.
But he's good. I love this dude. Yeah, he's real.
He real
He's
chill.
awesome. I didn't mean to ruin your video.
No, you're good.
Yeah, he's real legal.
You're good.
Did you see?
Okay, so where's the easement at? So where's the
At this
easement?
point in time, I do need your information because through the McLean County CAD system, standing on the water meter is his property. So you were still on the property while I was making contact.
It's you, no, but you don't have
It
it.
doesn't matter. So at this point in time, I do need your identification.
Okay, but at this point in time, okay, I'll let
Are you going to
finish.
refuse? Yes or no?
I have to ask you a question.
I'm not answering questions.
You
I'm telling you.
You.
I looked at McLean County CAD because you said that I said I'm going to figure out where the property line is. Okay.
Yeah.
I've already checked. Where you were standing when I was originally talking to you, you were still on the property. So I need your driver's license, ID.
I'm going to give it to you, but I have
Okay,
to.
I'm
I'm
not-
getting
that-
clarification.
What?
My clarification is you told me that if I go past that line, then I'm going to be arrested.
Well,
now you're changing it.
Yep.
So you're
because
two-faced.
like I said, I didn't know where
So
the
under
property
threat
line
of
was
arrest,
until I got
under threat of arrest, I will give you my ID.
Okay,
Can you hear?
Yep. Go ahead.
Hablas español? One in Spanish?
I need your ID.
Okay, I don't have it, but I'll tell you what. I'll tell you my information.
So you
He's being a
See?
crybaby. You're on his property. You need to get on your own property. Get on your own property.
okay? What's your name?
Caroline Rodriguez.
Spell your first
Under
name.
threat of arrest. The first letter is a C. The second letter is an A. The third letter is an R. OLYN.
Last name?
Rodriguez. Do you need
Spell
help
it.
with that too?
Yep. Spell it.
R is the first letter. Z is the last letter. O is the second letter. D.
Okay. I'm not playing games.
Rodriguez. RODRIGUEZ. Am I still detained?
Yes.
For what?
Because right now I got to issue the criminal trespass to you. You're going to get a written notice of the criminal trespass. So yeah, you're not free to leave.
You know, you lied to me. You're a liar.
No, I'm not.
You told me if I went past that line.
I
We
told
were
you-
determining what the line was
I
first.
told you I didn't know where the line was.
So then we had to
Okay?
determine the line, right?
So I determined the line
and then
through
you
the
said, then
McLean
you
County CAD
cheated.
system.
Then you cheated. And
I
then you
didn't
said,
cheat
yes, you
anything.
did.
That's up
yes,
to
you
you to
did.
know
You
where-
cheated. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you.
Have fun.
I'm suing you. Oh, I have a lawyer for that. Liar. He's a liar. Go back in, crybaby. Go back in, crybaby. Now, do I gotta walk in the street to get past this driveway or what? Do I gotta go walk in the street to get past the driveway, or is that their area? I don't even live here, so who cares if I get trespassed from here? Crybaby. What a crybaby. Crybaby. You better get your stuff off their property. Liar. Mentiroso. Mentiroso. I didn't go past your line. You're a mentiroso. See, there's a line. It's all drawn out right there. So after he issues me the paperwork for the criminal trespass that never occurred, he follows me over to my vehicle and tries to intimidate me over there, which is great because that's just more ammunition for my 1983 lawsuit of the false detainment and the false getting of my name. There he is, trying to intimidate the lieutenant. There he goes. And that's just more food and ammunition for the 1983 lawsuit. So be ready, Beverly Hills. And that's all I got to say about that. See you later. Bye, Lieutenant. And there he goes, the drive of shame. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.